Guten Tag. Welcome in Berlin.
We're in Berlin.
We're in Berlin. We're in Berlin.
We made it.
We only have 2 days here in Berlin. It's 1,000,000 degrees, but we're gonna try to cram in as much as we reasonably can. Let's get to it.
I am made to be free.
We've entered the German Dome, and it's a free exhibition about the German parliamentary democracy. So the German Dome, we went through it pretty quickly because everything's in German, so we didn't understand anything. But it was neat, I guess.
It's a cool building.
Yeah, it's a cool building.
Cool building. If you speak German and you're really interested in their parliamentary history, it's probably a banger.
For us, it was just refuge.
So it's gonna be 30 degrees both days. Our phones are yelling at us about heat warnings.
So we're running shade to shade.
The Berliner Dom has been ringing for like 2 minutes. We just found some shade just off the square, and it's quite lovely. And we don't know what it's ringing for, but it's not stopping because it's time for bells, yeah.
Look, we found more shade.
Look, it's the Berliner Dom, and you can see the famous TV tower near the Alexanderplatz. So unfortunately, we're here on Museum Island where lots of famous, wonderful things are. It's not unfortunate that we're here. It's unfortunate that here on the Museum Island, the Pergamon Museum is closed, which has like a whole bunch of really old, cool artifacts, and that's closed. It's gonna be closed for like 4 more years. So
Yeah.
too bad we're missing out on that. But it's just kind of pretty here and windy, and it's got some shade, and so we're enjoying. And I must say, I really like the juxtaposition of these two, and so I'm enjoying Berlin so far, even though it's 1,000,000 degrees. Costume change. My hair was going crazy. But we're gonna make our way through the Museum Island. We're gonna just swing by the Pergamon, check it out from outside, and then we're gonna head to the north side and go to Alexanderplatz and go to a famous cafe or bar or something there and get a Radler and Pretzel.
We are now in Alexanderplatz at the famous clock thing.
So here in Alexanderplatz, below this weird clock thing I don't really understand, you can get a really good view of the TV tower. The TV tower was built in the late 1960s by the Soviets, and it was a monument to their strength, but I think it was actually just like a spy tower. Some point in the 80s, it was a historic thing, and now you could go up it. There's probably a restaurant up there if I know anything. Is this all Alexanderplatz is? I think it's just like a square with stores and shops, and I was expecting more. I don't know. Okay, but we're continuing on to the cafe.
Getting our Radler and Pretzel.
No, it's beer. It's mainly beer.
We are refreshed after leaving Hofbrau House. I thought this was the original one because I couldn't remember, but the original is in Munich. But it was still really good.
Plan for the rest of the day. So we're gonna make our way back across on the other side of the Museum Island, back to where we started at our accommodation. And next to it is a place called Spaztel House, where we will get spaztel and schnitzel for dinner, but they close at 4 o'clock, and we want an early day. So we're gonna head through a community called...
I don't remember.
Perfectly, said perfectly the first time.
It's merchant houses from the Middle Ages.
There it is. And we're gonna see that, and then we're gonna get to dinner at maybe 3 o'clock. And that's it for the day. And then tomorrow we have Another action-packed day in Berlin.
So this area is called Nikolai Viertel, and it's around St. Nicholas Church, which we are just under right now. And they're old medieval streets. Although, like, it's not particularly medieval looking. But I guess they're cute little streets. But this is on our way to lunch, so we thought might as well just walk through.
So courtesy of the internet, we heard about the Spaztel Club. So we're gonna give this a try. I don't know. So we're doing the Schnitzel mit Spaztel. So we've got our first bites in us here so far. I really enjoy it. I think it's tasty. And certainly for the price too, you can't complain. Stace, what do you think?
Good. I haven't tried the schnitzel yet.
What? Okay, well, here it is live then. Here it is. So after this meal, it's a nice light lunch meal. We're headed back to wrap it up for the day. Some breakfast at the Lidl. Good morning, guten Morgen.
Hello.
Hello, from Berlin, day 2, our second day in Berlin, and our last day in Berlin. Again, we're moving quick. The plan today, yesterday, once we got back, we just shut down and we just tried to hide from the heat. Stacy just ate a bug. What a weirdo, eating bugs on camera. But today we are going to the Reichstag, the Memorial for Murdered Jews in Europe, the Brandenburg Gate, and then we're gonna go to the Topography of Terror and Checkpoint Charlie. So we have a busy day, and then we're gonna have a little siesta, and then we're gonna head off to the East Side Gallery and see some art on Berlin Wall. So that's our day. That's what we're inviting you along for. Come on, friends. Ugh. If only there was some way we could have known about it ahead of time. You need a reservation to get in. We thought we'd just go wander around their parliament.
When I was here before, you didn't.
Back in the good old days.
Back
in the good old days, you used to just be able to go into the parliament. Anyways, that's the German parliament from the outside. Snow going up into the dome, which is too bad. So instead we're gonna head to the Brandenburg Gate, and then we'll go to the Topography of Terror. I'm trying to get to the Brandenburg Gate, but it's all blocked off by all this soccer bullshit. It's just the worst.
We're here at the Brandenburg Gate.
Brandenburg Gate. And luckily it's not blocked off on the front side.
Yeah.
Stupid soccer.
Tristan got to see it. Yay.
Yeah, it's nice. At least it wasn't blocked off like in Paris so much stuff. Get a haircut. Look at this shit. We have arrived now to the Memorial for Murdered Jews in Europe. And we're gonna go and walk around, but we're not gonna do like talky bits in it. Just try to be a decent person about it. Then you see people like climbing on top of it, and like while it's neat geometrically and people are like whatever, you shouldn't be climbing on it. Just be like respectful, you know. Just, it's a memorial, it's not a playground. Anyways, so we're gonna go walk through and see it, and we'll see you at the other side.
Just left the memorial site. In this building here, there's actually an information center, but it's not an information center about the memorial like we thought, like about the architect or designer or anything. It's actually more like a museum about the Jewish people and other people murdered during Nazi rule. So it has a lot of personal stories about families and everything. It's very moving, but also overwhelming with like just how horrible it is. But I think it's really important to visit this kind of thing while in Berlin. There's a few different museums you can choose from because it's good to acknowledge this part of their history. But yeah, it was very, very moving.
We didn't even know it was a thing, so I'm glad that we
Yeah, stumbled upon
randomly
it.
stumbled on it
And it was
then took
free.
the time.
And it was really good information.
On that cheery note, the next place we're going to is the Topography of Terror. And it's a museum based in the former Gestapo headquarters. And it just documents the horrors of Nazi rule. Like Stacey said, right, it's important to see. It's not, Germany's not defined solely by its Nazi rule, but part of Germany's recent history. So keeping it cheery.
We have now finished in the Topography of Terrors. I'm just down by the wall here at this outdoor section. Tristan's hiding in the trees from the sun. It was really interesting. This building was not here the last time I was in Berlin, so this was new for me. There's an audio guide. Definitely do the audio guide because honestly it might get a little boring if you don't have do the audio guide, just because it's a lot of just images and text. But again, really interesting to learn about. It's important to visit these sites. It's free. This outdoor section is kind of a fast version of it, so at least do the outside section. We are now going to head to lunch with a quick stop at Checkpoint Charlie. There's the lineup to take pictures with Checkpoint Charlie across from the McDonald's.
How insufferably American of them.
Yeah, it's a little bit of just a photo op, but the history behind it's really cool.
It is our last meal in Berlin, our last like sort of proper meal. This is my first time ever having currywurst. Stacy's had it. I think it's good. I don't know what I expected. It's not what I expected, but it's good. But I don't know what I expected. After this, we're headed to the East Side Gallery, which is the famous section of Berlin Wall with all the art. And that's our last thing in Berlin and our last thing in Germany. We find ourselves now at the end of the Berlin Wall, at the end of the day, at the end of our time here in Berlin. We've just had for 2 days, and tomorrow morning early we head off to Prague. I enjoyed Berlin, but it was very hot.
It was fast. It was quick, very quick trip too.
It was a very quick trip. It was a very fast trip. There's more here to see that we didn't get the chance to see. We missed out even on going into Parliament, and so if we swing through again, we'll have a few things that we need to do. But for now, our time here is complete.